am so excited about this. Fiesta Bowl Executive Director Erik Moses is in with us. Erik, thanks for doing this.
I'm so happy to be here, man.
I am such a college football fan, and I told you before we came live, I've got such a love-hate relationship with this bowl game. But that's the excitement of the bowl game. I'm a Miami Hurricane, Penn State, Ohio State. I haven't fared very well in the game, but it is such an exciting bowl game.
Well, you understand, being a fan of a program like that, how important college football is really to the soul of this country, especially to us sports fans. The pageantry, the passion, the affinity that we have for these schools and these teams, these young men who are competing, it means a lot. And the bowl tradition is a really big part of that.
Well, the Fiesta Bowl specifically, and I want to get into some of the other things you do off the field, but specifically, this bowl game has always put such a focus on the beauty of Arizona. Perfect time of year, weather is great, and it shows just what Arizona's had to offer back before we had this growth explosion.
Yeah, it's a big commercial for this state. And as I like to say, for people like myself who grew up on the East Coast, this is the farthest west I've ever lived. You think you know Arizona. If you're not from here, you hear certain things, some good, some not so good, and you get here, and it's like, oh, my God, this place is not only beautiful, the people are friendly, it's not provincial like some older states and older cities. If you have something to offer, people will invite you in. They want you to be a part of the community. It's a great place, and we're looking forward to continuing to showcase why Arizona is so wonderful.
Now, before you were with the Fiesta Bowl, you were NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
And the explosive growth of NASCAR since I was a kid. I love the sport of rodeo, what we've seen with the sport of bull riding and the explosion in popularity. But college football has done the same thing. It has continued a steady growth. It is, in my opinion, as good a product, if not better, than the NFL.
Well, I told people when people ask me, God, you had such fun and you did such great things in NASCAR. How could you leave NASCAR after 2.5 years to come to the Fiesta Bowl? And I said, in American sports, there's a hierarchy. It goes NFL, college football, and then everything else, respectfully. I'm a huge college basketball fan, love NBA, all that stuff, love baseball. But that's the hierarchy in terms of ratings, in terms of sponsorship, in terms of engagement. That's where it is. So it was kind of an easy choice for me.
You brought up college basketball. Do you believe the new playoff system, as it's going to be, is going to bring college football closer to the excitement of March Madness?
I think it will. We're going to have a tournament now with 12 teams in it. And so for people like us, promoters, I got more storylines to promote. So imagine our game last year, TCU and Michigan. Imagine if TCU went to the Big House and played in the first round game and upset Michigan in the Big House, then came to a quarterfinal game at one of the bowls like ours. We're talking about that upset. We know who's waiting for them, their host team, and so it gives us more time to just feed the passion and feed the excitement around those matchups. So I think it's going to be great.
Erik Moses is joining us. He is the executive director of the Fiesta Bowl. So let's talk about that Cinderella story because, again, growing up where I did, at Florida Gulf Coast University was that Cinderella story one year in March Madness. You've got Liberty playing in this bowl game. If that format was in action right now, that could be the undefeated, unexpected Cinderella story, and still could be in the bowl season.
Yeah, I think I saw a projection that said if we were in the 12-team format this year, Liberty would be hosted by Florida State in a first-round game. And so, they could go on and win that game and move on to a quarterfinal. So I think having the Cinderella stories helps, just like it does in March Madness, to bring in casual fans, people who have not heard of these schools, people who might not otherwise be engaged because maybe their team didn't make the tournament that year, who are now like, hey, I want to see David beat Goliath, right?
And how much did America fall in love with Boise State after that big win in the Fiesta Bowl?
Absolutely. I mean, Statue of Liberty play is one of the best games in college football history. And as I've said to people, and I said to you off air, I tell people if you had a chance now to buy a ticket for that game, you would jump at it. This game may be something like that. You don't want to miss history. So folks out there who are listening and haven't bought their tickets yet, get your tickets. You could see something exciting.
One of the things, I talk about a lot of the Arizona-centric events that happen, and this is obviously one of them. I talk a lot about the Open, the golf tournament, because of what the Thunderbirds do in raising money and investing in the community. But I don't think the Fiesta Bowl gets enough credit for what the Fiesta Bowl does in our community. It gets outshined a lot by the game itself or the parade, but there is so much that you do in this community.
Yeah, our charitable giving really is the heart of the organization, making certain that we are able to take the revenues that we make through our games and our Par 3 Challenge and our kickoff luncheon and other events like that and then to pour that money back into nonprofits throughout the state of Arizona is really kind of our mission. And we enjoy doing it. And that happens 12 months out of the year. This year we gave $1.25 million away to teachers. 500 teachers got $2,500 wishes granted so that they could provide experiences and resources to their classrooms and the young people that are in their charge. And we can never have enough support for teachers. And so we just love so much being able to bring smiles to the faces of the people in this state.
And we kind of touched on this, but the other part of it is when you have an event this big, it attracts some of the biggest names in the country, some of the barons of business and some of the industry leaders. And when they come here and they see this weather and they see this time of year and all the things you talk about coming to Arizona, it is a great sales pitch. I mean, this is a Chamber of Commerce event as well.
I tell folks, and I don't know if they believe me or not, but I've been here almost a year now. And in that year, I've met 4 different people who tie their residency in Arizona to coming to a Fiesta Bowl, including Ken Kendrick, who owns the Diamondbacks, and who lived in D.C., where I came from. And that's just amazing to think that one single event could cause people to up and move across the country because of the exact same things that you're talking about: the weather, the opportunities here to do business, the kindness and the friendliness of the people that are here. We want to continue to make this one of the best commercials for this state.
And so with this 12-team format that's coming next year, and I want to talk specifically about the game in just a moment, but how does the Fiesta Bowl, what role do you play in that 12-team format? What's the rotation going to look like as far as what you'll host and when? Yeah,
great question. So right now there is a rotation every 3 years between the 6 New Year's Six Bowls. And every third year you get to host a semifinal because that's the only playoff, semifinal and then national championship. Next year, we will be the first ever quarterfinal. And so the New Year's Six Bowls will rotate between being quarterfinals and semifinals. And so in 24, we're the first ever quarterfinal. And in 25, we're back to being a semifinal. And so we're looking forward to that. And then 26 and beyond, depending on what the media deal is that the CFP does and all of that, what we expect is that the New Year's Six Bowls will be the heart of the playoff moving forward.
So let's talk about your expectations for this game. Oregon, obviously a big powerhouse. Liberty comes in kind of an underdog, but undefeated conference champion. What's your expectation from a game point of view?
So if people have not seen the Liberty Flames play this year, I may get some criticism for this, but Caden Salter, their quarterback, reminds me in his weaponry and his prowess of a Jaden Daniels type quarterback. Wow. This guy can run the ball. He ran for over 1,000 yards. He threw for almost 3,000 yards. He is a true dual threat. They have the best rushing offense in the country. They're undefeated. First time Conference USA will be in a New Year's Six Bowl. They're going to come with their ears pinned back, ready to play, because they have nothing to lose and everything to gain in this game.
And watching them play throughout the season, because I'm a fan of college football, they seem like there's no moment that's too big for them. And that's for a lot of teams that have never been somewhere. That's an issue.
Yeah, I think their coach, Jamie Chadwell, has done a fantastic job building this team and coaching this team, navigating through an undefeated season. He came from Coastal Carolina, where he made a bunch of noise when he was there. And so I think they have a great coach, a great system, lots of support from the administration and from that school. A little tidbit we told people is that Liberty's money in the bank and their endowment is bigger than Oregon's. So it's not like they don't have resources. We hear that their facilities are top-notch across the country. So they have all the makings of a program that is ready to break out, and this may be the platform and the opportunity for them to do that.
I appreciate the time this morning. I know you're getting pulled in a lot of different directions, but I'm always excited to talk about this game specifically, and it's great to meet you in person.
Likewise. Thanks for having me. And people, come on out and watch this game and the Guaranteed Rate Bowl on December 26th down at Chase Field.
All right. That is Erik Moses from the Fiesta Bowl.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch the first season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.